wasn't able to recollect or understand. And most importantly, I understood that it obviously started with forgiving myself first, and giving myself another chance, later followed by making little changes in my schedule, and have some thoughts dusted off of my mind and sorted out my feelings about wasn't able to recollect or understand. And to only realize, it took me only one step towards just believing in myself, and once again regaining the confidence. I got into the degree college and also got the subject that I wanted to major in. And obviously, it wasn't feasible for me since I had to, crack entrance exams, etc. Prove that I can score good, and I can score good in the coming exams as well. But hey, it was so totally worth it, and it really helped me to take off the tag of failure that I had put on myself and to move forward. It was really important to do that. So, yep, today I'm graduated, I've studied psychology, and I'm working with this amazing bunch of people, with this amazing team, the movement, and I just couldn't be more glad for myself. So, I just want to tell you one thing, that watch out for labeling. Even if you fail, even if you lose sometimes, that's okay, because life is full of ups and downs. But then the most important thing is forgiving yourself and moving forward. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Sudhi. I just saw a chat message from Shehnaz ma'am. Can I just check on that? Are there people who are yet to join on Zoom? Is that correct?
Everybody is accepted, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I just got a message on the chat saying that there are more people yet to join, unable to join. So I don't. There is anyway 60 more seats here. I don't think that should be a problem. Folks, if you see more people in the waiting room, please let them in. I think there are easily 60 more seats on Zoom. Great. Just to continue here, thank you so much, Suti, for sharing your life experience here. I think all of us have similar life stories. I think it's very important that we use these opportunities to learn as much, gain as much experience, to prepare ourselves for difficult circumstances. I just want you to know that we all will have challenging circumstances at some point of time. So it will really help if we can make the most of it and learn and use them in the future as well. Last but not the least, we're going to talk about journaling. Anisha, can I invite you to share a few thoughts here about journaling?
Hi, everybody. So good to see you and hear from you. Thank you, Sam and Stuti. I just, when I was in college, I had, I used to watch a lot of these teen movies. And in all of those movies, people used to, write, all these youngsters would write in their diary their deepest, darkest secrets. And I, watching those movies, I thought, oh, what a waste of time to just kind of write. What if somebody reads it? And, things like that. But I remember there was a time where I just was going through a lot happening. I have a lot of anxiety about, I had anxiety about a lot of things, and I decided I just wanted to scream somewhere and I didn't know what to do. So I was like, the best thing to do is I'll go and write in my book, and I'll just write everything that comes to my mind, all the thoughts that are going through, all the fear, all the, if there's fear of failure, uncertainty about what I want to do after college. I just said, I'm just going to start writing in a book. And that got me started. These American teen movies came to mind, and I said, okay, you know what, this is some place where I can actually write. And I started writing those thoughts. And while I was writing, they say there is a style of writing called stream of consciousness, which is basically you just write whatever's coming to your mind. And I just started writing, and I realized a lot of the things that I thought were so bad, like, oh, I didn't do very well in one of the subjects, were not as big as I was making it out to be in my head. And that writing basically helped me sort through a lot of issues that I thought were very big. and helped me to put them into perspective. And slowly, slowly, it became, I used to look forward to writing every night in my book to just talk about the good things, not only the bad things, the good things, the good experiences, a few thoughts of what I want to be. I felt like I was getting more creative because I started to think of other things that I could include into my journals. I remember I'd go on trips and I would maybe pick up a flower from one of, I was visiting my aunt in Ooty. I'd go pick up a flower from a field, which would go into my diary. And I felt over the years, I think just looking back at the diary, reading through it, it helped me understand how I've grown. It helped me understand what are the triggers for me that that I can watch out for in the future. It also helped me analyze for myself what are some of the things that I can avoid. And if I'm falling into the same trap of fear of rejection or fear of things not coming out perfectly, what are the counterproduct? What are the things that I can tell myself to change that? So I just want to tell everybody here, a journal is an amazing outlet for anybody. It's not necessary that if you write a journal, you're depressed. It's not necessary that, it could be anything, but it helps you journal. It helps you write your thoughts out. It also helps you remember the good times. So I just encourage everybody here, if you like, to just write down your thoughts. You feel like there's no one you can talk to. Sometimes you feel like that, or you want to think for yourself what is happening. Journaling is a good option. Always, I'd encourage you to write that. Thanks, Sam.
Great. Thanks so much, Anisha. I really appreciate that. So here's another powerful tool for all of us. So we spoke about three things. Okay, three tools you've heard from different of us, three of us, and we spoke about understanding your strengths, reviewing thinking errors, basically ideas that can sabotage our feelings, and third, use the power of journaling to help you cope well with circumstances that you're going through. We are moving ahead, folks, and right now I want to talk about a very important thing. Sometimes, like I said, there's some things which we can't do by ourselves, where we need to be asking for others to help. And I want to just share the state's helpline number, which is of this company called Empower. Currently, this is a toll-free number. It is available for all of us to use, anywhere across India. It's basically this number which is set up for helping us deal with some of the challenges we have. It's a counseling helpline. So feel free to reach out if you feel that you're unable to, cope well. You need help. You want to speak to someone. You can always reach out to us as well. But I always recommend, speak to a professional, speak to somebody who is in the field, who can take you on a journey and give you possible support. So this is out for all of us. Feel free, I'll share this number with you. Many of you can just check this online as well. This is a helpline that you can reach out to. Like I said in the beginning, it's not good enough that we just hear about this. It's very important that we practice. So the reason why we're doing this is because we want to initiate all of us to have more and more conversations about mental health. So today, I want to encourage you. Let's talk about mental health. Let's ask and even listen to what people have to say. A lot of times, the most powerful thing we can do for the people who need help is to listen to them, listen to their concerns. So I want to invite you to take this opportunity to take action. So if you visit our Instagram page, you will see in our highlight stories, there is, this aspect called Let's Talk. There's this entire Hangout link there. And you will see this story which says, I pledge to talk about mental health. I want to encourage all of you today, if you're on Instagram, head over to our page, write your name, take a screenshot of this, write your name and post it in your stories. It's a very simple method to invite people to have a conversation with you about mental health. And let me tell you, it can just be about sharing experiences. It can just start with that. It can start with somebody just feeling free to know that they can reach out to you if they need help. So I remember the other day I was just putting this up and a friend of mine who's in the US, he posted about 8 or 10 screenshots of his personal experience. He was away from Instagram for 1 year because he was undergoing through depression all by himself. And once he got out of it, he took some time to share that with everyone, saying, "Hey guys, the challenge is very real." So I saw that story and I told him, "Hey, thank you so much, my friend, for sharing this," because I also wanted to do this conversation weekly on Facebook. And watching him share that on his Instagram story encouraged me to do this Hangout live, which I showed you right in the beginning. So take your step, take action today. Don't delay, take action today. Here is a simple way and mechanism for you to take action. Go to our stories, tag us on your post, and let us talk in India about mental health. With that, I want to invite question and answers. So this is your time to ask us a question and answers. So feel free to use this time to ask anything on your mind about mental health or any specific challenges. Friends, if it is a personal challenge and if it can't be discussed openly, I will ask you not to share it here, and that can probably be discussed privately one-on-one basis. But if there's anything that you're welcome to share openly in a public forum, feel free to use this time. Yeah, so feel free to ask your questions. Stuti, if you can monitor the questions and highlight them to me, please.
Yes, sir. Sam, we have a question. How do we know if we are dealing with depression or not?
Yeah, good question. So, see, like the video said, see, depression is not what you would consider a one-off sadness. There are multiple symptoms that qualify for it. One of the things that it's a range of things. One is definitely experiencing sadness beyond explainable terms. When I say explainable terms is you have crossed your ability to cope. For example, you are crying you without knowing why you're crying sometimes. And so there are different ways in which um, there are different ways in which you would need to diagnose this. But for your information, for a general public information, what I would say is one of the easiest ways is to look at certain things which you could regularly do, which you're not able to do anymore, um, and watch out for the signs of it. Friends, can I just put everybody else on mute? Yes. Sorry, I just had to mute everyone. Yeah, so good question there. The video actually explains that very well. Loss of appetite can come, wanting to be alone and not being able to connect with people. So there can be a range of things. But what I want you to recognize is that when you notice that you're not able to uh, cope with a regular things, simple things, even getting up early in the morning is becoming difficult, waking up from the bed, or you just feel like the simplest of things that you used to do is becoming difficult, that is when you ask for help. And don't worry too much about diagnosis as much, because there are experts for that. I would say that when you feel that you're not able to manage, feel free to ask for help.
Sam, we have a question, one more. How to come over extreme anxiety regarding the moment you always dream in depth of depression and still feel no capable to get that with gratitude?
Yeah. So again, I think if you, I'm just gonna. Can you just repeat that one more time, please?
Yeah, it's how to come over extreme anxiety regarding the moment you always dream in depth of depression and still feel no capable.
Yeah. So I'll just start by just explaining two things. Okay. One is the aspect of anxiety and depression. Okay. Two aspects. See, when you talk about anxiety, it's always fear of the future. What can happen? And sometimes fears are based on things. I mean, many times fear, I like the definition. Sometimes one person has put a definition which says false evidence appearing real. Some of the things that we fear are not the real things. It are things which appear to be real. For you, specifically, or if you're going through extended anxiety, please seek professional help. I would encourage you to seek professional help, especially if you think certain circumstances, like, you notice that certain circumstances or certain people or certain situations are causing you undue stress. Normal people, everyone goes through stress, but there are times when you feel like it's causing you panic attacks. It's making you feel like, you're sweating. There are, your physical body is responding to that phase. This is a great time to ask for help. Don't deal it with yourself, and don't think that it can be dealt by yourself alone. Feel free to ask help. Discuss the entire situation with somebody, especially professionals. So they will understand what all are the triggers for that. Sometimes there could be certain things that are triggering it. It could be a person, it could be a situation, it could be, it could be different things. And they will help you with ways in which you can take action. Find specific routines that you can follow. All that will really help you. So it's not a one-step answer for you. I would suggest that you look out for signs and discuss this with a professional.
We have one more question. How to make a person understand that their life is precious?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Very, very good one. I think that's a very good one. I like that. I like that you asked that question. I wrote a song because I felt like a lot of us don't realize that it's one life. And I some years back, I think when I was in college, I wrote a song called One Life because I really felt that a lot of people don't realize how important it is to value life. And sometimes it is, the only best thing we can do as friends, or as people who care, is to tell them how important they mean to us. So many people don't do that. Many people don't express how much other people mean to us. So one of the ways to help somebody value themselves is to tell them how much they mean to you. You go ahead and tell them, hey, you know what, you're precious, man. I really appreciate what you do. I see what all you do to make life possible. It could be your loved ones at your home. It could be your family, your friends. Tell them. And sometimes when you tell them, when they are able to experience, oh, that that their life is precious. They're able to see the difference that they make. Some people are blinded about that because nobody has told them something good about them. So you can be a person who can start that. Rather than intellectually explaining to them, hey, you're awesome, this and that. Uh, Go and tell them 5 reasons why you appreciate them. And when you do that, watch what happens. They feel a special zeal in terms of life. Secondly, like we said today, we discussed today, uh, do that strengths finder thing along with them. You do, why don't both of you, do that strengths assessment? Discover each other's strengths. Call out, when you do the strength assessment with a friend, The beauty of doing it with a friend is that each of you can give examples to the other person about each of those strengths. And it becomes a very powerful bonding exercise as well. So go ahead and try that as well. A beautiful question. Thank you so much for asking that.
We have one more question. It seems like life is breaking down into very small and incomplete phases. Can you suggest me something on that?
Okay, that is not a complete question. I didn't understand that fully. Yeah, but can you repeat that and can you ask for more information, please?
Yeah, it seems like life is breaking down into very small and incomplete phases, and every time I try something, there's a full stop. Can you suggest me something to overcome this situation?
So I didn't fully understand that question. So if you can, the person who asked that question, if you can describe it a little more for us, it can help me, just make sense of your question. I didn't fully understand your question. So it's some more details can really help. Can we go to the next question in the meantime?
Yes. What if seeking professional help is expensive?
Yeah. So I that's a common question that I get. I appreciate you asking that question. So I have sought professional help, and I can tell you, when you look at physical health. See, for example, if you went to a doctor today, and you had a cold or a fever, you will pay them some money, right? You're going to pay them a consulting fee. They'll ask you to do a few tests and come. Uh, I have done tests which have costed me anywhere between 1,000 rupees to even 5,000 rupees, a whole range of things. But let me tell you, whatever you pay for a normal diagnosis is what you would end up paying for mental health as well. So if it is has to do with actually not yet trying that, I want you to go ahead and try that out, because sometimes some things require extra effort and it requires a professional to help you. And let me tell you, India is the cheapest or most economical place for health as a whole. People come from all over the world to India because India is economical in that sense. But like if you ask specifically to me, I would say you would find a range of options depending on the kind of places that you go to. So cost can be a factor, but believe me, it's when you compare with your other physical symptoms or illnesses, I don't see that as as a higher cost. But it's also important. Physically, the cost alone cannot be a factor. Sometimes I also notice getting the right help can be an important factor as well. So in my experience, it also meant that we find out different people who are capable to help us the best. So I have actually traveled a long way to get help as well. But the important thing is to prioritize it, folks. See, none of us, when we break a hand, none of us go and think twice about the bill, right? We will go and get help, right? So why about mental health? I really feel it is very important to seek professional help.
Hi, Sam. There's also one more question in clarity to the previous question.
Yes,
Uh,
please.
they're asking that this person is asking, saying that she's pursuing medicines, and every time she tries to do something, small things to big things, there's always a kind of a stop in her work because of external resistance or distractions. So she's saying, is there something that you can help me to kind of reduce those distractions so that I can continue to pursue one thing in a focused manner?
Nice, nice. So I'm going to make some assumptions here. Again, thank you for the detail. Thank you so much for sending that so much detail as well. So few things. Now, one, if you say you're on medications, number one, I would assume that you have met a doctor and you have taken prescribed medicines, number one.
Sorry, Sam, sorry, just to correct, she's working for medicines. She's not on medication, but working for medicines. So every time she's doing a job, she gets distracted by external uh, distraction. So she's asking how can she continue to stay focused.
Okay.
Her work stops because she gets distracted with different things.
Okay.
I think, Sam, sir, it would be better if that student can speak. Meghna, can you speak? What is your doubt?
Sure, please. Great. Meghna, would you be okay to chat with us one-on-one? Thank you so much for asking the question. I want to really help in whatever way possible. So if you're okay with giving us a call, you can just DM us to the movement IND, just message us, and we can set up a call to speak with you.
Yeah, we can. She can get the number from me, and then she can contact you all, so that she can have her doubt cleared
Yes.
individually. Yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes. Others, feel free to ask questions. Okay, there's nothing wrong in asking questions. This opportunity, please take this as a brilliant opportunity from your college. Your principal ma'am and Shanaz ma'am, and they've all encouraging this conversation because it's important. So feel free. There's nothing as a bad question. I'm only asking for clarity to be able to explain or understand your question better. But feel free to ask any question. As much as we know, we'll be happy to help you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, sir. There's a two aspects of the mental health. Okay, the one is that the society norms. If you are seeking any medical help, then people started to think you in other platforms. Correct. This is the major perspectives of the Indian society. So that is why most of the people don't try to seek the medical advice and all. And the second, when you want to get an open platform, like if you know someone, those who suffer from the anxiety and suffering from the other kind of mental health, if you want to speak them, then people think maybe you have some undue advantage, you want to take some undue advantage of that person. So like can we break this chain? What the Indian society have perspective about the mental health, and what are the programs you are doing right now to change the society perspectives? And I have done a lot of research over the mental health and have attended so many programs, even because last 4 to 5 years back, actually I was also suffering from the mental health. That time I just started to do my study. Then I'll come to know like what is the actual scenario that you must be aware about it in the India.
Yeah.
What are the yes, sir.
Good points there made, Mr. Said. I think. See, what you're saying is about stigma, right? This aspect about people looking down on you. Looking
Yeah,
down on
right.
you. I totally agree. I remember. I mean, I'll be very honest. I mean, I've told this with my colleagues as well and shared in other platforms. I remember once I went to a doctor. I mean, we went visit a psychiatrist, and I had a psychiatrist file from a psychiatrist department in my house, and I had some guests. So they came home, and they were actually my neighbors at one point of time, and they saw this file, and they said, "Oh, mental, you're mental, huh?" It was just it just came so naturally for them to say. I mean, they said in my language, my home, my mother tongue called Malayalam. They said mental aanale, kind of a thing. And then basically it means that, oh, by just seeing what was a file, they wrote me as somebody who is mental in that form. And I think I just laughed at it. I just left it there, and I just thought, man, so much our society has to grow from. Think about, and the reason why I do this, exactly my team does this, is because, we have to, many more people have to speak strongly about this. That's exactly why we do this, because see, we have to stop stigmatizing this, because it has reached over and above limits. When I say over and above limits is, we're losing lives every day because we stigmatize this, because we make it such a taboo topic. Our initiative, just to answer your question directly, is to do it as many times as possible so that people realize, it's mental health, let's talk about it. It's not a taboo topic anymore. See, today if somebody breaks a hand or has an injury, we don't go, oh no, it's such a bad thing to talk about. No, but it has to happen in such, in such magnitude, or in enough conversations must happen within our homes to make it okay for friends and families to be comfortable talking about it. This is exactly why my team and I are doing this every Sunday, 6 p.m. on Facebook. I'm not, honestly, I'm not an active person on Facebook, but the only reason I'm doing on Facebook every Sunday, 6 p.m. is that my family, my friends can invite other families, other friends to come on Facebook and hear us. Because then if you have a problem, you talk about it openly. So I feel like, it is important to bring up these conversations in public platforms. We need our learned scholars, our teachers, our professors, like just like how we are doing it here, to be okay with talking about it. Be okay about speaking about mental health and saying it's okay to feel not okay. Because our community, our society always, what do I say, showcases everybody as a strong person. No, not everybody is strong. People are weak, and it is okay to speak about weakness. And sometimes great strength comes in talking about weakness. So I really appreciate you sharing your perspective here. And
Thank you so much, sir.
yes, we are in a perspective, we are in a journey of having more conversations.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate your works which you are doing for the society, sir. It's a really great work because sometimes it creates even a suicide and a loss of someone very near and dearer. That is a great work you are doing. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate you asking this. See, I'll give you one more quick story. Okay, one more quick story for all of you. See, when this, when this pandemic started 4 months ago, one of my friends, who is a musician here he's a music producer here. He got a call from one of his friends. He rushed to his house and he noticed that his roommate, my friend's roommate, had consumed poison and was lying unconscious on the floor. They rushed him to the hospital and they were able to save his life. When he found out that what happened to this guy, what happened to this musician to consume poison, he realized that this person was not able to get work due to the pandemic, and he had taken this undue step. Uh, Now remember, this person was not staying alone. He was staying with another friend, and he found it shame on himself to ask for help. Now, these are the stories which actually really inspire us to do what we do. Now, I want to tell you that this friend of mine, what he actually did is he started a organization, not a small initiative called Artists for Artists. Basically, artist community helping other artists. So you may have seen it. You can actually just search them on Instagram. What they've been doing is they've been providing grocery kits for any artist who is unable to take care of themselves. How did it start? By just this story, a call that he received. So I feel like, like there are so many such stories, so many ways in which we can all extend help. And sometimes it is just by caring for our own communities. So this is a recent story from one artist to another artist. And I feel that there's so many things we can do just by having these conversations within our colleges, within our own communities. So I really appreciate you asking this and sharing your thoughts as well.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sam, we have one more question. Sometimes, it's also related to stigma. Family members don't believe that mental illness is a real thing. What can we do in those kind of circumstances? it's also related to a little bit about professional help, but I'd leave it up to you to take it on.
Yeah. See, this is also a little bit about, helping family members understand things. Okay. So I really, when I look at this, I also look at a little bit about convincing people. When I say convincing people is, see, sometimes, when we explain things to people, like I remember when I, wanted to choose teaching, professional teaching or corporate training as my career, 16, long time back, 14 years back. Um, my parents couldn't understand. They had heard about lawyer, engineer, so many other things. And you will not believe me, it took them, I think, 5 or 6 years to understand what that job is. And it was very difficult. It was very difficult explaining to them what a corporate trainer is, what this person does, because they had not seen anyone in their circles. They had not even heard that such a job exists. But let me tell you, it took me so much effort. I did not give up, because for me, I was very clear this is something I wanted to do. Similarly, when it comes to your mental health, I want to rewind it to my beginning conversation. I started by saying your mental health is your responsibility. Please do not give up. Please take enough effort to convince your family, your friends. And how can you do that? There's simple methods to do that. One of the methods I use is by telling them stories, actual stories of my work. Now, when you explain your struggle, tell them, sometimes they don't understand it clearly. So tell them in clear ways. For example, if you're saying that, I find it difficult, like, one of my family members who went through this, explain certain things in certain words for me to understand. For example, they said in these words, I am feeling a dark cloud in my head when I wake up in the morning. Now, I can't see that, but only when that person says that in those words or whatever they are going through, can I understand that. Or this person, I can notice that this person saying that, I feel like crying and I don't know why I'm crying. Now, you look at these things, a normal person may not really understand that initially. But when you explain your symptoms or the things that you're feeling constantly, I'm feeling scared, put words to these things, and take some effort. I'm not saying you should always try so hard, but please explain. At the same time, I also want to tell you, friends, you're adults, which also means don't wait, for things to get worse to ask help. Please, you are old enough to take care of yourself. Please, I expect each one of you here who are listening to me, um, do not let your symptoms worsen. Please, there are, like I gave you, helpline numbers. Please ask for help. Your parents can understand gradually, but does not mean that you convince your parents to ask for help. Please ask for help right here, right now. There are people, there are friends of yours who care for you. Find, even in your family members, you might find somebody who is concerned for you. It could be a cousin sister, cousin brother. It could be an aunt or an uncle who can understand you well. Find that person. Maybe your mother, maybe your dad. Find that person. Don't wait to explain to everybody in your family, but find that person who understands and start with them and seek help. Yeah. And I just want to complete my story by saying it took 5 years for my parents to understand me. But after 5 years, let me tell you something what happened. Anytime my father saw corporate training, HR, L&D in a newspaper, you know what he would do? He would ask somebody to cut that newspaper, take a photograph, and send it to me. It took 5 years, but it still worked. And finally, he was able to understand what I was doing. So, I just want to tell you that keep trying, don't give up. Thank you, folks, for asking. I think we're out of time as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sam, that was the end of the questions for now. But if anybody else would like to ask questions, please do DM us at The Movement IND on Instagram and Facebook. We'd be happy to respond. Sam, over to you.
Yes. Feel free to get connected with us, friends. Yes, and always remember your college cares for you. That's why these initiatives are being conducted. and feel recognize this.
Shahnaz ma'am, would you like to say something?
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Firstly, it's been a pleasure to have you all here today, and I think we had a wonderful session. Meenakshi ma'am and Alkama sir, would you like to speak something? Then I'll invite Ansar sir for vote of thanks.
सर को बुला लीजिए.
Ma'am or sir, Alkama sir, or should I ask Alkama sir?
नहीं, हाँ मैम.
Yes, ma'am. I think ma'am has got some network issue. Alkama sir, would you like to speak something? Okay. So now I invite Dr. Ansar Pasha, NSS Program Officer for Degree College, to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of our college and NSS unit.
शुक्रिया शहनाज मैम. हम लोग आज के इस हैंगआउट सेशन के अंतिम पड़ाव पर है, जिसमें आभार प्रदर्शन का भार हम पर सौंपा गया है. इस 73वें स्वतंत्रता दिवस के उपलक्ष्य में आयोजित इस हैंगआउट सेशन में के जो मुख्य संरक्षक हैं, रिजवी एजुकेशन सोसाइटी के संस्थापक अध्यक्ष आदरणीय डॉक्टर अख्तर हसन रिजवी सर एवं आदरणीय डायरेक्टर एडवोकेट श्रीमती रुबीना अख्तर हसन रिजवी मैम का मैं सर्वप्रथम हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, क्योंकि उनके अमूल्य मार्गदर्शन से हम सब हमेशा लाभान्वित होते आए हैं. तत्पश्चात इस मूवमेंट टीम के सभी सम्मानित सदस्यों का मैं हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, जिन्होंने वर्तमान समय की सबसे महत्वपूर्ण समस्या मेंटल हेल्थ अवेयरनेस पर हमको मार्गदर्शन किया. खासकर सैम कौशिक सर का मैं हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करना चाहूंगा, जिन्होंने पिछले 4-5 महीने में जो दिमागी प्रेशर कुकर में जो प्रेशर भरा हुआ था, उसकी सीटी को निकालने का काम, उसको रिलीज करने का काम इस अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम के माध्यम से उन्होंने किया है. साथ ही अनिशा रुबेन मैम, प्रीति चैटर्जी मैम, स्तुति जादव मैम का भी मैं हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करना चाहूंगा, जिन्होंने अपने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस के माध्यम इस वर्कशॉप को सफल बनाने में जिनका महत्वपूर्ण योगदान रहा है, वह रिजवी महाविद्यालय की प्रभारी प्राचार्य डॉक्टर अंजुम आरा मैडम का मैं हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करना चाहूंगा. साथ ही महाविद्यालय के सभी राष्ट्रीय सेवा योजना के कार्यक्रम अधिकारियों का भी मैं हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करना चाहूंगा. तत्पश्चात सभी सम्मानित मार्गदर्शकों का एवं प्रतिभागियों का भी हृदय के असीम गहराइयों से हार्दिक स्वागत. और इस आभार प्रदर्शन के उपरांत मैं इस सेशन को समाप्त करने की घोषणा भी करता हूं.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining in, and thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Anjum ma'am. Thank you, Shahnaz ma'am.
Okay,
We'll
thank
see
you.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank you,
bye-bye.
ma'am. It is always a pleasure.
Thank
to
you
have
all of you.
with us.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Always. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good day to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Musafir. Right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, bye.